Juan Ponce De Leon, born in 1474 in San Tervas del Campo, Valladolid, Spain. Before I go any further, I would just like to say, since attention span is something hard to come by these days, towards the end of the video, we're going to go to where he's currently buried. And I have a few questions regarding a few issues, and I was wondering if you guys could help me with a few things by putting in your own input. But anyway, he is supposedly a descendant of Visigothic kings, and he was from a Spanish noble family, so he's from nobility. And if you guys already don't know or don't realize, these quote-unquote explorers were not, they were basically what we would consider for their time to be crusaders. What they represented was the military arm of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay? Now, the church behind his statue is Catedral San Jose, I believe that's the name, and this is where he was originally buried. It was constructed by the Dominican order and overtaken by the Jesuits in the 1800s. The Jesuits, they were here since day one, and they represent the military arm of the Roman Catholic Church. These were military men. Now, when Columbus and a lot of these explorers are depicted in pictures with their boats, what do you see on the sail? You see a red cross. You don't see the flag of any country now, do you? That's because they represent the military arm of the Roman Catholic Church. You see the same red cross on many depictions of crusaders. Catedral San Juan Batista in San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is the oldest church on U.S. territory and the second oldest in the quote-unquote New World according to official history. And this is also where Juan Ponce De Leon is currently buried. Now we're going to do a tour of the inside of the church real quick, and then we're going to go to where he's buried and talk about a few things. Now I'll do a quick tour of the outside. These doors are huge. You wonder who they built them for. Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, obviously. Alright, needs some maintenance work, but a beautiful piece of architecture nonetheless. Okay, let's go in. Catedral San Juan Batista, the oldest church on U.S. soil, on U.S. territory. Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. So we're gonna do a quick little tour. Now the focus is obviously Ponce de Leon in this video. There's plenty of other things going on inside this church. But in this video we're gonna focus on Ponce de Leon. So this is it right here. So here it is. This is where Ponce De Leon is buried. For those of you that don't know, he is famous for being the first governor of Puerto Rico, and he ended up dying in a skirmish against the natives in Florida, and he was looking for the Fountain of Youth, and also trying to colonize Florida for the first time, and they ended up bringing him back to Cuba to try to heal him and nurse him, but he ended up dying, and they brought his body back to Puerto Rico, and here he is today. And that's I guess a depiction of the Fountain of Youth or what have you. Buried in Catedral San Juan Batista in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now, what stuck out to me most when I saw his crypt for the first time is how small it is. This is extremely small, and so I looked up his height on Google, and different sources say different things, but the point is they all agree that he was most likely under 5 feet tall. And when I tried to find the explanation for why he was such a small man, I get things like, oh, people were smaller at the time, this and that, but the truth is, there was never a point in time in history in Europe where 4'8", 4'9" was an acceptable height for a grown man at any point, even for a woman. And people in Europe were actually more malnourished in the 1800s than they were during this time period. And so yeah, 4'8", 4'9", which is what I usually get for what he probably was never the height of a grown man at any point in time in European history. And so when people use the terms like, oh, Napoleon complex, well, Napoleon was 5'6", which would make him above average height for his time period in Europe, as a matter of fact. So I don't know why we don't say, oh, Ponce de Leon complex instead of Napoleon complex, because this guy really was of small stature. Napoleon was of average or slightly above average height for his time period. Let me know what you guys think. And oh, I have to mention again, he's supposedly of Visigothic lineage. And you know, Visigoths are originally from Sweden. They're big men of big stature. I'm a quarter Swedish myself. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.